Alright, so one of the things that we haven't talked about yet is if statements. And what an if statement is a means of allowing the computer to make decisions and act on certain code paths if the conditions are true. So as a really simple example, we're going to check and see if a person is old enough to drink in the United States. Now the conditions for that to be true is that the person must be older than or at least 21 years old. So basically greater than or equal to 21 years old. So let's go ahead and go through a really quick example of how an if statement works and see how this code will execute. So to do so, I'm going to make a variable called my age. And I'm going to set it equal to my age, which is 23 years old. Now, I need to check and see if my age is indeed greater than or equal to 21 years. So this is how you would do so in JavaScript. You would say if, and then a parentheses, so an open and close parentheses, and now we put the condition that we want to check. So in this condition, we're going to check if my age is greater than or equal to. So the first one is greater than, the second one is equal to, and then I put 21. Now comes the hard part. So we're going to do an open and closed curly braces, and inside of here we are going to have the code that is executed if the condition is true. So console.log have a beer. So that is the condition that will be executed if my age is indeed greater than or equal to 21 years old. So if I run this real quick on my console, I will see that have a beer is indeed printed out. So what happens if my age is under 21? So if it's 20, let's run the code real quick. And after I clear my console, I see that after I run the code, click run, nothing gets printed out. So what happened here is the code inside of console.log isn't executed simply because my age is not greater than or equal to 21 years. So if we can do another test here, console.log after the if statement. And this will just simply print something out after it runs through the if statement. I run it and I do see that indeed it prints out after the if statement because the code executed this, saw that my age was not greater than or equal to 21, and it just simply skips over this line of code. So it skips over it, doesn't get executed, and then goes to print out the next line of code. Goes to execute that next line of code. So that is how an if statement works. In the next video, we'll cover some more complicated things that we can do with these kind of checks.